Hello, my name is Noah Kim. I'm Chief Operating Officer of sPark.
Hi, my name is Daniel Hussein. I'm the Chief Financial Officer of sPark.
Hi, my name is Noah Courtney. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer of sPark.
Hi, my name is Cody Brossett. I'm the Chief Development Officer of sPark, and this is our 2018 final pitch.
So, I'm sure any of you guys have circled a lot, whether it be in an airport, a shopping center, or simply trying to get groceries at a store. We've always had to run into a packed lot, and it's just frustrating, and it takes time away from you, the customers. So, this is how sPark changes that.
So sPark is a parking reservation service that allows users to reserve front premier spots in high traffic locations. So these locations can include malls, sporting venues, different types of area where the parking lots are extremely congested. So through our application, you can reserve in two ways. So one with the Park Now button. So when you're close to our barriers, you can actually click Park Now if you're close and you can reserve that spot. Or you can reserve ahead of time with the reserve button, and you click on a specific date and time for your barrier and your spot. And ultimately, our goal is to save you time, allow you to have a stress-free experience, and ultimately save you gas when trying to park.
So there's three simple steps, as Noah just explained. One, you select your time and date, the allotted time slot, and the date, whatever you need your reservation for. Two, you pay a small fee. And then three, you pull in and you park. When you pull in, there'll be a selection for you to lower the barrier.
Cody will demonstrate real quick how the barrier.
This is just a concept barrier.
So this would be in the front spots of your location. This would be your customized barrier. So when you arrive at your spot, you can quickly lower it or raise it, and then you park.
So basically what we're going to do is save time from you circling a lot, and because your time matters to us. So benefits to the customers. So we're a business to business and a business to consumer. We operate in both of those. Business to business, we actually draw more customers in. Because with Amazon nowadays, shopping malls are dying. Anywhere, if you have to go out, it's inconvenience to you. It's a struggle, especially if you have kids or you just have a busy schedule. So we want to bring those customers back. What's unique about sPark is safety. You don't have to worry about getting door dinged in a packed lot if you're trying to squeeze your big SUV in a small spot, or if you're in a time crunch, you already have a reservation, you can pull up and it's right there. You're not going to have to circle a lot. And it's premier parking. It's in the front of the lot. I know in Chicago it gets pretty cold in the winter and you guys don't want to be walking out in the cold. I'm sure you guys heard of Spot Hero. If you've ever been to a major city, Spot Hero is everywhere nowadays. And it's more in parking garages in downtown, like urban areas. So while they also allow you to have a nice secure spot before you go downtown, and it saves you a little bit of money, saves you a little bit of time. Valet parking, the general manager of Whitfield Modular said their valet parking service is actually the lowest in Illinois. And it's crazy because valet is not responsible for any items that are taken out of your car, like per se that happens to you. And it's just, I know you gotta adjust the seat after you're done. I don't like other people in my car. I'm sure you guys have personal belongings in your car. It's old, it's not innovative. Standard parking, I mean, you can circle a lot, you can park in the back of the lot. It happens to all of us sometimes. It's just old, and we want to innovate the way you park.
So our MVP experimentation process. So first we tested right here at Schaumburg High School. With the funding received of about $500, we purchased concept barriers from TurboLock, as you see right here. We tested our service with multiple teachers, including you, Ms. Griffin, at Schaumburg High School. And we did run into some complications as far as timing issues, but we truly optimized our business model based upon what we learned here at testing at Schaumburg High School. And we also note that now it is indeed a valid solution to a problem that needs to be fixed. And so speaking with our potential customers. So first, Republic Parking. So Republic Parking is the largest parking management company in all of North America. They manage parking lots from airports to different sporting venues and parking garages downtown and in urban areas. So we were connected to Richard Ballard, who's the Director of Operations at Republic Parking. We were connected to him through our mentor. And we had an elevator pitch and a phone call with him, as you see in the picture on the bottom right there. And we actually received a verbal agreement for a partnership contingent on hardware development, which we'll touch on in a little bit, because he really liked the idea and he stated how this indeed is a problem, especially for Republic Parking customers. So he wanted to optimize our business model into their system, which he really liked. And so two, Woodfield Mall. So if you remember from the first MVP pitch, we actually showed the first photo on the top. We met with Kurt Webb in October of 2017. And we went in there with this, essentially nothing. We just pitched our idea to him, and we wanted to plant that seed with him. And we pitched our idea. He liked it, yet he had a lot of feedback to give to us to optimize our business model. So actually, we met with him 2 weeks ago. As you can see, we have polos as well now. And we met with him 2 weeks ago, and we showed him the progress that we made. We showed him how we would optimize it for Woodfield, and we ultimately took the feedback that he gave us in the first meeting to optimize our business model. And so Kurt Webb, he was actually amazed by the progress we made, and especially how much we've come as far as the timing goes. So he also gave us a verbal agreement for partnership contingent on application development. So Republic Parking is hardware development, and then Woodfield Mall is application development. And he wanted to put us initially in the Cheesecake Factory parking lot in fall of 2018, which I can show you right here. So we were talking with him about what we could see at Woodfield Mall specifically. So this is the Cheesecake Factory anchor parking lot you see on the left, and there's a lot more parking spaces than just this screenshot shows. So on the weekend, if you're trying to park here, there's absolutely no chance of finding parking at all, in case you guys may have experience. So we would have those spots, as you see outlined in red, we would have those reserved spots, and you would have the barrier in each individual spot. So users can simply click on one of these spots, they could choose a specific date and time and reserve it, and whenever they want to come at their own leisure, they lower the barrier and park. And just some key metrics. So in the past 28 days, we received over 8,000 views and impressions on our Twitter, which is really cool to see the amount of validity that we see in our idea. We drew in over 65 voluntary responses on our website, stating how they would use our service once it rolls out. And we were also recognized by the National Incubator Twitter, which was really cool for us. So as far as hardware development and application development goes, so for hardware development, which is specific to Republic Parking, we're talking to Tap Connect, which is a sign company based in Wisconsin. We were connected to them through our mentor once again, and they develop specific barriers, and we want to develop our barriers with them, and we received a great amount of information of what we can do with Tap Connect. And as far as application development goes, so we actually met with Epsomatic right after the Woodfield meeting. They're headquartered here, actually in Schaumburg, Illinois. And so we talked with them, we based our data, and we pitched to them as well to see what they thought. And one, they loved their idea, and two, they actually gave us a quote 2 days ago, and the quote was $21,500 for iOS application, which is actually relatively really cheap compared to the application starts that we see nowadays.
Now on to our financials. So we sent out a survey to our potential customers to try and figure out a price point that is best suited for our customers. And the consensus was an hourly rate of $4 and a subscription fee of $15 a month. So using those numbers, we plugged them into our pricing model. And this is our 5-year projection. So for our first year, we're projected about a revenue of about $25,000 and a net income of $6,000. And over the 5 years, you can see that the revenue jumps from $25,000 to about $410,000 by year 5. And also the net income jumps from about $6,000 to $150,000.
So year one is actually based on the single sold parking lot. We consulted with Kurt Webb, and we talked about what we can see as far as revenue projections, and he stated how this was a relatively conservative and valid idea.
And as far as our SG&A costs are composed of the administrative costs, the marketing costs, and the selling costs. And our administrative costs are composed of the custom barrier maintenance, our business insurance, our parking sign maintenance, our parking post maintenance, and our Wix site subscription. However, that's a temporary cost because we might just have Appsomatic develop our website for us. And our marketing costs, we have advertising. We allocated $1,000 for advertising. And for our selling costs, we have custom barrier purchase, parking sign purchase, and the parking post purchase. And over the years, you can see that our SG&A costs will multiply because we're trying to scale upwards and try and get out of the state if possible.
And that would include Woodfield Mall. We're going to talk to Chicago Premium Outlets of America in Aurora, and then Republic Parking.
So now on to why we need funding. So initially for our administrative costs, we would need an LLC agreement, and then we would also need the articles of incorporation, which would be for the legalization of our company. And then as far as the equipment goes, we would need the barriers to start off in the Woodfield Mall, the Cheesecake Factory. So we'd have 10 customized sPark barriers in front of Woodfield Mall, and that would be $10,000. And then we'd also need the parking posts and parking signs. So the parking posts would be $1,200, and the parking signs would be $300. And then also we would need our application developed for all iOS platforms. That'd be $21,500. And then we gave ourselves a $3,000 advertising budget just to get ourselves out there. We thought that was a broad advertising budget to give ourselves, so that equals a total of $38,000.
And with the advertising, we actually talked with Kurt Webb again, and he stated how we can utilize their screens throughout the mall to advertise sPark to get awareness going on as far as that. So ultimately, why we should get funded. So first and foremost, me, Daniel, Noah, and Cody all agree that we've been really working hard on this. And by working hard, we don't mean necessarily just working what we're supposed to be doing. But we've been trying to exceed what we're trying to do, and we've ultimately have that passion and drive to make this idea into a success. So we really do believe that this is a problem and that we have the solution to this problem. And two, on the same lines, this problem indeed is validated, is true, and needs a fixing. So with sPark, we will fix that issue and ultimately enhance the experience of parking for all individuals regardless. And three, ultimately, we need this funding in order to jumpstart our business. This funding will allow us to get a kickstart on our application development and parking barrier maintenance and development, and that is why we believe we should get funding. Thank you. And now we're ready for questions.
Right. We're waiting for that. Well, I have to say it's very well done in the sense of what you presented, right? It's one of the better presentations I've seen. You've got your financials, you've got your product, you've got your business case, you've done your homework with those people, so it's very good, right? There's only one word that you used for the presentation. I'll put it back to you, and you used the word conservative. And I've said it to the other teams, don't be conservative, be bold, right? So if you put conservatively at 400 grand, you can probably, be bold and say, hey, we're going to go for 600 or 800 or $1 million, right? Conjure a number that you think you can achieve versus what you can conservatively get, right? So that would be my 2 cents. So the other question I had is this the barrier from TAPCO?
No, so this is actually from TurboLock. We purchased these concept barriers from TurboLock specifically. Right. But two things are shown in this, that one, it can be manufactured. So, it can be hard to realize, this thing actually exists, but it does exist.
Okay.
Which leads us to two, which is that Tap Connect can actually manufacture a much more taller one, as you see here. It's very short, a much more sophisticated design, which would cost $1,000 each.
Got it. So that is what I was confusing you.
Yeah.
So this is like a demo thing.
Exactly.
So it's
Yeah.
feasible,
Proof of concept.
but it's not workable.
Yes,
Right?
correct.
So you might want to say that this is the
Yeah.
feasibility aspect, but TAPCO is going to give us the workable
Correct.
solution.
Because
Okay, got it.
these
Otherwise,
barriers,
well done.
these barriers were the ones that fit our budget at the time because of the MVP pitch. So this will be managed with some
And they said that it was gonna be $1,000 for each after,
Just as it was a general quote we received
Right.
from them. Of course, there's room for error and differentiation.
We told them some
Right.
basic things that we need on their end, and they said manufacturing, the technology, just a general quote,
Okay.
email.
I just assuming that you buying in bulk.
Right.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And then we would work in unison with Apsmatic because they need to connect this to the application itself,
Right.
so that connects.
Okay.
I have a question, like at Woodfield Mall, Simon takes up quite a few spots.
Correct.
Mhm.
It's a pain, I tried to do it once because I was so frustrated when I couldn't park. I'm like, I'll just sign up for wherever that Simon thing is, so I can park in one of their spots, but I can figure it out. So I was surprised to see that because they're creating a competition with another offering they have.
So when we talked to the general manager, Kurt Webb, he actually said the Simon Rewards, you have to spend over $1,000 a month to get in that program, which is
That's why I
it's
said
it's a very exclusive audience that they're shooting
So
for.
we want to open it up to everyone, and
Yes.
$4 is the minimum.
$4?
It's really
And they said they're having a little bit of trouble regulating it since it just is a signpost, and I've witnessed some people that just pull into it and they're not even in the Simon Rewards. And he talked to us about that. He said, well, we can't really do anything about that. We can't tow them because
They can't ticket them.
Yeah.
So this, you actually, because you have a physical barrier,
Exactly,
it makes
yes.
it different.
Yeah.
And, I would say that Schaumburg High School parking lot, Lifetime Fitness parking, all the places that we don't really use.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
so there's just a
Very
lot of
affordable.
room to grow. There really is. It's just wherever it's busy, we can have room to grow.
Well, it seems like the initial investment takes you a long way.
Yes.
Correct.
And the cool thing about our barriers is they're going to be deployable. So this one right here has 3 different anchor points, and when you're talking to TAPCO like that, so say it gets busy during Black Friday or Christmas shopping, Whitfield Mall, which is boom, 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 give us 5 extra slots. That's 5 extra ways of revenue for us right there. So it's multiple revenue.
So all seniors are going to stay in this area?
So me and Daniel will be attending U of I next year, and then
I will be attending Bradley University.
And-
And then
I'm
he's
a
the baby of our
sophomore,
group.
He's a baby,
So I
yeah.
notice you're like CEO, CMO, CFO,
CFO,
CEO.
yeah.
Do you need a CEO?
We don't have a specified CEO at the moment. Yeah, we're gonna fight for that now. But yeah.
So I have a couple of comments. A great job.
Thank you.
Shirts, great idea. I like the presentation. Don't hesitate to show how that works more than once, if you can, do it smoothly and carefully, so that it doesn't backfire you. If you do progress, I would take your sign and put it up on some sort of pole.
Yeah.
Sitting in front of it, and maybe even have some sort of a fake park,
Yeah.
rug that you roll out, and it's the parking lot, buy a black rug, put white tape on it, whatever. I mean, these are just things that would just, because you guys are doing a great job with your presentation, to take just another step. But the one question I have is on how did you get that to go up? So is there an app that you're already developed, or is it remote control?
There's a third-party application that
Okay.
comes with this barrier, so that's how we were able to.
Yeah, and it's just a simple functionality, just raise and
Just
lower.
up and
Yeah,
down, right.
but it has, it doesn't show location necessarily or. things
Right,
like that.
right. But so that's, you guys did a great job. You've responded to every single question we've asked. So just so you know, that may be something you get asked. But that proves that you know it works. Like
Right.
an app can control a device that's in the middle of the parking lot on the court, so, good job.
You might want to show, having a visual of like what the phone looks like, what
Yeah,
it might
okay.
look like.
Yeah.
And when we
3D
press this
model.
button,
Somebody's,
look there it goes,
finger,
Yeah, just hit the screenshot, because the screenshot, it's
Yeah.
really easy.
But
Correct.
you did do
Maybe
a good
explain,
job of
like-
saying, here's how, 1, 2, 3. And I mean, I think that sometimes,
Or like explain how you would send them a code.
Yeah,
okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because that might not be obvious to everybody.
What was this that you said that you had so many hits or likes or
Oh
something?
yeah,
What was
so,
that?
it was just like through our Twitter specifically.
Twitter?
Yeah, so
Right.
this was just 2 posts we had, and you can see like the amount of impressions we've had on these
Yeah.
posts.
Oh, I
and
see.
spread. Yeah, so it's just a really cool factor that we took into account, just seeing how far it's been reached so far.
Well, how did people know what that was and to find you?
Yeah, so we've had like a lot of retweets on the National Incubator Twitter. They also like added us to their Moments page and like retweeted us as well. So it definitely just like spread around, chain effect.
Right.
Correct.
yeah, so.
Definitely the audience at school has been really like
Yeah.
supporting
Yeah.
us.
Like
I walked
administrators
through-
have been
Yeah,
supportive.
I walked through the hallway holding this and like someone was like, hey, you guys rolling out yet? I was like, we're trying. They're like, can you give me a spot? I'm like, okay. So definitely the students here have like been like retweeting it and definitely
So you're
like
getting
engaging with
like a
it.
buzz.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, sure.
One other thing I would add on your presentation, can you go to the slide that has like the lightning bolts?
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm
that's-
talking about?
So 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
Oh,
those right there.
okay.
So like
Yeah.
when I saw that, this is
It's
me, just
confusing.
me, well, it's not confusing, it's just me picking the presentation. Honestly though, like I would take your logo that you have, because that's what you're trying to do, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
take that logo and put that logo on those spots.
Okay.
Just because I would like
Yeah.
go with it
Yeah.
instead of just like me, I'm like, all right, that's the Microsoft lightning, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
where it's
yeah.
coming from, so I would just take that logo and put it up there.
Right.
On your spots, not on the spots.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. Don't put your spark on your spot hero
Yeah.
going across, put just a bullet or something
Okay.
that shows.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a typical way that check mark maybe,
Check,
but
yeah.
Right.
yours is gonna be the
Use
spark
the
mark.
logo, yeah.
And I thought the valley parking, I thought that was low. Is that the $10?
That's so at Woodfield Mall specifically they do $7 and then that's excluding tip. So with tip it's $10.
Yeah.
And the thing is with Spark you don't have to tip. And that's another great factor.
Right.
You don't have to carry cash on you
So
either.
maybe point that out. Point those things
Yeah.
out.
But again, you guys, you're responding to all these questions that we're having. It means that you thought about it, and that's really positive. I think we should, say that we're going on the right path in terms of the activity that we do. So that's good. Let's see what it takes.
And I think your shirts were a good choice, not
Yeah.
just because they're, the logo and all that, but because you associate maybe this style of shirt with somebody who might valley park. So
Oh.
to me, it goes with a parking kind of a.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, good job.
Good.
Thank you.
Good job.